Welcome back to another day in the arena, and guess what, guys? We have 10 new starter decks to play around with in the starter deck duel area of Arena. If you are free to play and you are starting to build out your profile, I highly recommend going to starter deck duel. And it's kind of cool. I actually really enjoy this area because it allows it to be a limited version of the game where most people are playing precons, and it's kind of neat. It's a good way to get your daily wins, and we're going to go through these one by one. And today's episode, we are doing Arcane Aggression. Let's take a look at this deck here for a second and talk about exactly what this deck is trying to do. This is trying to be a pretty standard Izzet spells deck. You have, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact. You have your Haughty Djinn for a little bit later. You also have Urabrask. First strike. Whenever you cast an instance or sorcery spell, this deals 1 damage to target opponent and add 1 red mana. And you can exile it for a red mana, return it to the battlefield transformed, and it becomes the Great Work, which deals 3 damage to target opponent and each creature they control. Nice little board wipe for 5 mana. Then you get to create 3 treasure tokens, and then until the end of turn, you may cast instance or sorcery spells from any graveyard. If a spell cast this way would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead, and then you return it as a 4/4 first striker. This is a pretty decent card, and actually this is a pretty well put together deck. You have the Flame of Anor, which is a very diverse card. It allows you to do multiple things, especially if you control a wizard, and we have 9 wizards in the deck, so that should not be too much of a problem. But you get to draw 2 cards, destroy target artifact, or deal 5 damage to target creature. Wizards are going to be very important for our playstyle as well. This Electrostatic Infantry is fantastic. He's 1/2 trample for 2, and then you get a 1/1 counter on him every time you cast an instant or sorcery spell. You also have the Jitu, the Amplifier. I know the word amplifier. We're going to go with that. And he just gets bigger whenever you cast an instance or sorcery till the end of turn. And if you pay an extra 3, you could return a target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. That could come in handy, but a lot of times we're just dropping it on turn 2 and having a nice little 1/2 on the board. We also have Jitsu. Man, that's Jitsu, isn't it? It has to be Jitsu. I'm going to call it Jitsu. If I'm wrong, correct me down below, but I'm pretty sure that's Jitsu. Ember Coiler. It's got prowess. It's a 2/2. It's an alchemy card, so I don't know what this does yet, but at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may discard a card. If you do, seek a card with greater mana value, exile it. Until the end of your next turn, you may play the exiled card. It's a nice way to dig into your library. And seeking is actually a lot more powerful than just drawing a card or exiling the top card. You get to kind of choose what you get into your hand, because if it's greater mana value than 4, you're either going to get the Nail, the Gandalf, or Tolarian Terror. So you could kind of pick and choose what goes to the graveyard and what you get to some degree. You can get burned on this on occasion, but for the most part, it's not going to be too bad for you. Lightning Strikes, of course, Rails Reinforcements. All this does is creates 2 blue-red elemental creature tokens. Nice little chump blockers. Also, Third Path Iconoclast is going to create those little colorless soldiers. So we get a lot of little 1/1s on the board. The main way to finish people with this is, of course, your Haughty Djinn, your Gandalf the Grey, which we will get into in a minute, and Tolarian Terror. I have noticed that since these cards don't go to your collection, they've been a lot more liberal with the amount of rares they have put in each deck. Now, let's talk about Gandalf the Grey, we're going to talk about Haughty Djinn, and we're going to talk about Tolarian Terror, and kind of how this deck all works together. So Gandalf the Grey is interesting because whenever you cast an instance or a sorcery, which we have tons of them, you may tap or untap target permanent, but these have to be different too. You have to choose one that you haven't done before. So if you play a Lightning Strike and you choose, you may tap or untap target permanent, you could do that, but you won't be able to do that again. So that is a little bit of a downfall for Gandalf the Grey, but you get a lot of value out of him anyway. Let's go over to the other three. Gandalf the Grey does 3 damage to each opponent. Nice job to get a little bit of damage off on your opponent. It's kind of like lightning strike. Pretty good stuff. Copy an instance or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for this copy. So basically, you could copy Lightning Strike and get 6 damage off, or nuke 2 creatures. You could also put this on top of its owner's library. So he's going to have a little bit of repeatability. He's kind of sticky. Like, they got to remove this, otherwise you're going to keep cycling those effects. And really, if you copy target instance or self sorcery and make new copies for it, and then the next time you put him on top of the owner's library, well, you're going to get him back, but you also get to copy another instance or sorcery, which is really nice. So this is really kind of your control piece that's going to try to make your opponent dead with the instances and sorceries that are within your library. Haughty Jin, if you are unaware, so it might not have been around for very long, but for 2 blue and a generic, he has flying, and his power is equal to the number of instance and sorcery cards in your graveyard. And then instance and sorcery spells you cast costs 1 less to cast. So he makes spells cheaper, and he is as big as all the instances and sorceries in your graveyard. And needless to say, a lot of our deck, 18 cards, are either instances or sorceries. So we're planning on having quite a bit of them. Yep, a lot of really interesting, unique things to this deck. I really do enjoy this one. I think that a lot of times they mess up on the Izzet decks a little bit, or, you know, maybe I'm a little bit dumb and don't play them quite correctly or as I should. But Third Path Iconoclast is how we start to set ourselves up. Same with Electrostatic Infantry. Move into Haughty Jin when we have 3 or 4 mana, and then start doing nasty stuff near the mid and late game of it with the Urabrask, with the Gandalf, with getting a Tolarian Terror out probably faster than turn 7. That's the plan. We want to cast him for maybe 3 or 4 with this kind of a deck, and that's what we're doing. We're playing defense, we're trying to remove opponents' creatures, and we're trying to do dirty, bad things with creating a really wide board and swinging him for a lot of damage, or just using our Haughty Jin to finish them off, and same with the Urabrask. It has been a long time coming, guys. This is where my channel first started to kind of take off a little bit, covering these starter decks. And of course, as is tradition, I am the starter deck coverer guy. We're going to cover all of the starter decks and get right into business. Thank you for joining today. Make sure that you've liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in a moment. We forgot to talk about the Seed Shark, but this is very good in the deck as well. I am not a big fan of our hand at all. We do have a couple of things that we could do, though, so we are going to keep it. We can't expect these decks to have everything perfectly because they're starter decks. They're supposed to introduce you to archetypes, and that's what we're doing here. We're learning this archetype. How to use it. Izzet spell deck. We start with the Molten Tributary, and looks like they let mono red in here, guys. Swear to God, if I see another red mana, I'll be very, very upset. Have the Volcanic Spite, but we want to get creatures down before we really start casting any spells. Okay, haven't seen this since Limited here. Very nice. It's a 1/1 haste. And he doesn't swing for some reason. Okay. Well, I think the strongest move, there's a couple of different things we can do, but I think the strongest thing we can do is probably get our Chrome Host Seed Shark running. Not only is it a 2/4 in the air, but whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you incubate X, or X is that spell's mana value. It's a very useful card. 3 mana should be all that we really need for this deck to work, so I feel like we're in a really good spot. He missed a damage by not swinging with the Viashino. Right. Kolakan Warmonger. Haste. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 6 of your library. You may reveal a dragon card from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom. Wow. Okay. That's actually pretty good. He's tapped out. So we're definitely going to kill that. I'm trying to think of why he would have swung there. Build out our board a little bit more and swing in for 2. We don't mind taking a little bit of damage. Just a really good opportunity to get the Kolakan Warmonger off of the field. Alright, Megalaws. Maze Crusher. One of his rares. Remove oil and does things. We're going to pay the land, or play the land that gains us some life. I know words. Okay, well, there's no card advantage with that. But I want to start getting little 1/1s out. Swing for 2 in the air. We don't have the mana to cast the Volcanic Spite right now, but if we just keep building out our board state, eventually we're going to overwhelm our opponent. And we've been able to play a card every single turn, which is great. Gets rid of the Ember Coiler. It's great for the opponent. And ladies and gentlemen, we had a rope. Looks like he's thinking really hard about this move. Comes in for 4. I wouldn't have blocked that, man. No blocks. Only 1 on-tap mana for the opponent. And we draw more mana. Gee whiz. We could almost hard cast Tolarian Terror. I'm thinking about kicking the Jitsu Amplifier. Just to have something to do. Make him spend his mana on the Megalaws again. Let's actually let him keep Megalaws on the ground. Make him pick this guy up. He can kick it, though. Which is probably... No, he can't kick it. Not yet. What? He gained Vigilance and Menace there. Alright. Well, you enjoy that Vigilance and Menace. And we'll move on to the next turn. I think this guy might be a little bit green. He's playing Gruul, but I think he's actually green around the ears. Which is also great, because if you're learning to play Magic the Gathering, you want to be playing with people that are kind of on your level. Mana. Dragon Whelp. Alright. Comes in for 4. No blocky. Down to 12, and we get another Volcanic Spite. Let's start using this stuff. We're going to incubate. We're going to create a 1/1. He becomes a 3/2. We're going to put Tolarian Terror on the bottom of the library, and we get a Rails Reinforcements. Is this an instant? No, it's not. Of course it's not. And I guess we're swinging. And we're going to hold up that Volcanic Spite, because we're probably blocking with the Soldier. And then using the Volcanic Spite to finish this off. Get another 1/1 and get another Incubator token. Another Dragon Whelp. Alrighty then. Dragon Whelp gets +1/+0 with tapping a red. Very, very old school card. I think this thing's been reprinted tons of times. And yeah, that's got Summoning Sickness, my man. I think we're just stealing this one, my guys. That's okay, though. I take wins like that. Come over here, take the block. This is an instant. We're going to deal 3 damage to it, and we're going to get procs. And we're going to decline that. All right, convoke, draw 2 cards. Well, let's do it like this. That's an instant. So we're going to expand. Uh-huh. Come at him for 5. This is fatal. So he's got a block. He's blocking the Seed Shark. Which is just fine. Next on the list is we're going to incubate one of our guys. We're going to tap 4 of these probably. Cast the Meeting of the Minds. And we should have this one wrapped up in the bag. I guess if I had swung with everything, that would have probably been fatal. So a bit of a oopsie daisy on our side, but it doesn't seem to really matter. There's the Vishaino Branch Rider. Kicked. So good on him. Another one. Trying to go as wide as he can. More mana. Giving it +1/+0. Alright. And I guess you want to swing in for that? Like, I don't know if you know this, my guy, but you could do this on your turn and maybe kill one of my creatures. That would have been a really nice way to deal with the Seed Shark. And here's the beauty of this. Incubate. 3, 6, 7, 8. It wouldn't have really been enough anyway, but we're going to teach him a little bit of a lesson. This is an instant. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 2 more cards. And we'll even... Nah. Because that'd still die. That's fine. We don't need to do a shore up as well. Mana. This. Do it here. Gives it +1/+1. Right. Yeah. And now we're just playing, guys. We're just going to play around a little bit. We're going to do that. And here we go. -11. I would say this is a pretty well put together deck. And here we go. Incubate 3, draw a card. Wow. Just like last time, it's not the most beautiful hand I've ever seen, but it's good enough to do some tricks. And we got some mana. We got both colors of mana. We don't have any turn 1 plays, so the tap mana is not going to really hurt us here. Could Iconoclast turn 2, and then we can start doing things. Ooh, no, even better. Iconoclast. She's probably got some removal in this deck. I would imagine so. There it is. But here's the thing with these decks. How much removal do you have? Watch him come out with like a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Man, oh man. Seed Shark I like better anyway than Iconoclast. So let's see if I can keep it on the board. I cannot. Ugh. This is actually probably not the best. Not the worst, not the best. Okay, couldn't kick it. Needed to get the cards. And we're off to the races. Let's go ahead and incubate. Got the electrostatic infantry here, which is fantastic. Next turn, we could electrostatic infantry into Eyes of Gataxias. And the Curator comes down. Haha, of course. We don't have our second red. Let's go with infantry. Let's go with Eyes of Gataxias. And pass back. 5, huh? We got 5. And cast sorceries as if they had flash. When it attacks, pay 2. If you do, cast your next instant. You may choose new targets. Oh, well, hello. More removal for the opponent, and we're not looking great here. Nail. The Storm Runner. Really looks like should have flying, but doesn't. Does he have more removal? That would be insane. Alright, Halo Charged Scab. Not what we wanted. He is a wizard, so I get to choose 2. And I actually have enough to do this twice. And we're going to find out together how this works. When you cast your next instance or sorcery spell. Okay. When he attacks, I may pay 2. And now whenever I cast my instant or sorcery spell, I can do this twice, right? This and this. Target player to draw cards is me. I'm going to deal 5 damage here. Yep. Target player. And then damage. That's a lot of cards, man. Oh, wow. That is brutal. Oh, I like that a lot. Kind of wiped his board out. Nail is down. All right, that's okay. That's acceptable. That's definitely acceptable that he scooped after that. Wow, way to tilt him out of the game. Oh, man. All right, next match. No blue, no thank you. Curators. We can put the curator down on the bottom. We got playable things with the Jitsu amplifier. And, yeah, we could mess with this. This hand is fine. Get the Jitsu amplifier out. 4-1-2 early on. Start casting spells. Seems like it can't be too terrible of an idea. Root Weaver? What is this? Juniper order Root Weaver into the battlefield. If it was kicked, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Okay, well, that's a strange one. This has prowess. We'll start with the Jitsu amplifier. Pass the turn. Blossoming Sands. Ooh, Botanical Brawler. This is actually a pretty good card. He doesn't swing? He swings? Alright, sweet. I want to say, that's free damage, my dude. You want to be swinging at those things. We're going to do it like this. I don't like this card being on the battlefield at all. I would love to do it differently, but we're going to Volcanic Spite on this. I'm going to put this to the bottom. We're going to draw into a Lightning Strike. Okay, perfect. Opponent plays a tapped land. Blossoming Sands. And the Trumpeter. Beginning of each end step, if a 1/1 counter was put on a permanent under your control this turn, put a 1/1 counter on this. Okay, so he just gets counters whenever other things get counters. We have Gandalf in hand. He's down to 3 cards, which makes me want to be a little bit aggressive. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to Lightning Strike here. We're going to swing in for 3 more. We need to draw some more cards. Like, we're not in the best situation, but our opponent is getting a little low on cards. Well, that means we should start being defensive. Maybe get the Curator out for a blocker or what have you. Another Root Weaver, getting a 1/1 counter here. So we will lose a race if we're trying to race. So we don't want to be racing. Ah, mana. We get a life back. Eventually. Ah, there it is. I'm wondering if we've already used up the amplifier. Nah, let's build up our board state a little bit. We got time. We're still at 14 health. These decks aren't broken by any means. They're pretty well fair and balanced. So, smite. Alright, that's a bite, right? Yeah. Yep, it's a bite. Alright, no attacks. He kills the Ember Coiler, though. Comes in for 5? I'll take 5. Go down to 9. Opponent at 16. Still all open mana here. Thinking about casting that card there, sir? Whichever it was, he did not do it. So we'll start with the Curator. And I want to put Volcanic Spite to the top of my library. And I'll swing in for 1. Bam! Have at ya. 1 damage. Whatever shall you do? Looks like a mana pass kind of deal. We start being aggressive here. Yep, just swing. He's got to choose very carefully. The smart thing would actually probably be to let it through and go into a full race. I don't know. There's not a lot of good options for him, to be completely honest. Got behind on cards, you know, got a little bit swamped. A little bit flooded, but it does happen in the game of Magic. Another rope. Very sophisticated rope tactics from the opponent. And he actually does the right move. Incredible. Let's see if he can continue to make good moves. 2 cards in hand. What do you got? Show it to me. Ah, he lives. He lives, and that is a big boy. Oh my. Is he able to turn this around? I think he does with this. Volcanic Spite. We kill this. We do a shore up. Put a card into your library. Oh, that's right. We're probably putting this into our library. Drawing. And we're going to take 2, actually. Resolute Reinforcements. It's a sorcery, so we're going to do it right now. Spread out on the board a little bit. Now we have blockers, which is great. We can block that Clay Champion for a couple of turns while we try to get our feet under us. Oh, that's really good on the Clay Champ. What? When this creature dies, put its counters on target creature you control. Man, that should have been on the Clay Champion. Hands down. Then if it dies, you still have a... What, if you put them here, a 9-10 to deal with. That would have been the move. Should be swinging with the Clay Champion. Even though he won't get the damage through, it should still be a swing. If he has something that has Trample, we're dead. But it looks like, alas, he does not. And we'll go to my turn. Oh, yay, mana. Alright. Lead out with Gandalf. 3 damage is something. Tap or untap target permanent. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not big enough. Not yet. He'll still be swinging with the Clay Champion. Be nice to draw something other than land deck. That was the quickest pass to me I've seen the opponent do. Excited about that. Does not swing. Okay. Probably for the best. This is nice. I do control a wizard as well. A couple of wizards. Okay, we could do a staring match for a while. We're gonna just stare at each other for a minute. He looks all pretty. Him and his Johnny here. Mana. My turn. Ooh. Patience, patience, patience. Okay, get the haughty Jin down. Now, Flame of Honor will cost less, and it looks like we're going to actually win this match. But we're going to wait till next turn to really start pulling home the bacon, if you will. This is an artifact, so Flame of Honor can kill this. And he's a sitting duck once that happens. So we just wanted something to make sure that we could push the opponent over before going for it. But Flame of Honor, destroy target artifact, deal 5 damage. That wipes these two out, and then we just basically win the game. He's been roping me the entire time. He's going to be very upset whenever he sees how absolutely ridiculous this is going to be. See, you got to wait for a splashy time to win a game. It's got to be splashy. Well, let's see if he has protection. Destroy target artifact, deal 5 damage. Destroy this, deal 5 damage to this. We're going to deal 3 damage. And this is the splashy way to do it. He might have protection, though. That's what I'm really worried about. Okay, gets a basic land out. Kills that. Kills that. Keeps this. Gain some life. We're going to shore up. We're going to do it here on the haughty Jin. Tap that. Take the action. And there we go. No resistance. None. 3-0, guys. 3-0. This is... it's not great. We have no creatures. But any creature we draw is going to be great. I think we mulligan that. And we keep this. We'll draw into our stuff, right? The first hand was probably a little bit better, but Beggars and Choosers. This was a free deck, so I can't really complain too much. Oh, man, I'm just that good. Okay, so last opponent didn't do much at all. Much ado, but it was about nothing. This is on the edge of being keepable, and I'm going to go with it. We've had really good luck in this run through, so I don't even mind if we lost this one, to be completely honest. We've already shown the deck is capable of winning. Let's see if it's capable of winning with an awkward hand. Recluse. Alright, alright, alright. Reach and Death Touch. Put a 1/1 counter on it. Okay. I'm actually going to use this. And here's why. We need to get the land, right? We're going to put the Tolarian Terror on the bottom. And we draw the land. That's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. Meeting of the Minds. We don't have any creatures, so we cannot convoke them. Sad day. Bad news bears right there. We will have a Barrel and Kari very soon. We get a forest. Juniper, Order, Root Weaver. Kicks it. I'm actually going to kill this one as well. And I'm going to... Nah, that's good. These are all good. I guess we'll get rid of the mountain. And we get an island. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. You can't write it up that well. We get these volcanic spites back with the curator. A lot of these cards in these starter decks are really good in limited. Though I've seen a couple of these guys in limited. Alright, this is a good time for Meld Web Curator. We put the volcanic spite on top. And we're not going to use it yet. We're going to try to build out our board state. Fairground Trumpeter. Fair enough. This is an instant. Oh, that's perfect. I'm thinking about just passing, but we could also kill something with Volcanic Spite. Let's swing. I wasn't going to swing, and then I hit the button and thought that it was just a fine idea. Down to 17, we passed the turn. Guess we could have put Beryl and Kari out on the field. It wouldn't have hurt us. We would have had another creature. We're going to have to waste mana on it next turn, and we didn't use any of our resources this turn. Always try to use all of your resources. Okay. Kill it. Let's put nothing on the bottom. This is fine. Doesn't get the proc on the trumpeter, which is great. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna open this game wide open now. Swing. Down to 14. Yeah, I guess on an awkward hand, you're still doing pretty good with this deck if you're playing it correctly. Citizen's Arrest. The card that had a chance of being played a lot. I haven't really seen a lot of it, though. Mostly because it's too white. All right. We're going to start right here. And let's just blow him out of the water. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2 up. We got the lightning strike. We could also incubate. And that's it. Goes to the opponent's turn. Opponent. Not having a good day, I see. The Clay Champion comes again as an 8/8. I guess that's what I get for playing with my food. Yeah. Comes in for 3. We lightning strike that. We create a 1/1. Third class Iconoclast. Third path Iconoclast. Wow, words. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Amplifier. And we're going to kick it, right? We're going to wait for a turn. We're going to wait for a turn because then we could get maximum value. Oops. Nope. No attacks. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this is... Wow, why does everybody misplay that? You should be putting that on Clay Champion. If you're watching this and you're new, put that on Clay Champion. Okay, that is going to slow us down just a little bit, though. Yeah, I'm going to skip this one. We'll get around this. People are not playing the Clay Champion right at all. If he swings with the Clay Champion, we let it through. And we return that to his hand. And then we swing for, I think that's fatal, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Not quite fatal. Okay. Well, looks like we're in a staring match. Oh. Oh. That's 15 damage. I know blocky. We'll go down to 5. Dang. Okay. Return that. This is going to be 2, 4, 4, 9, 12. Only get 12 damage off here. Maybe it's worth it though. If I draw like a lightning strike, or something like that, we're good to go. He blocks a 3rd class Iconoclast for 5, 10, 13. That would pull him down to 1. Okay, now you're going to 2. See, there you go. There you go, opponent. Keep as much health as possible. Drew a land. I think we actually won. I think we did it. Aggressive attack. But hey, returning that to his hand and doing shenanigans really seems like it paid us dividends. Maybe I should have been a little bit more aggressive. But hey, we got the lightning strike anyway, and here we go. Good game. Bam. Gone. Woo. Ha ha. All right, we even got a daily done while doing the thing. Awesome. Let's go talk about the deck a little bit. So we didn't get to see Urabrask do his thing, but we got to see a lot of really powerful interactions with some of our cards, like the Flame of Enor with the Najal. Gandalf did some work, but most of this thing was held together with your 3rd path Iconoclasts, as well as Chrome Host Seed Shark. This stuff was good. It worked really well. Volcanic Spite held a lot of strength in these matches. Lightning Strike, for some reason, we didn't draw them, but it looks like we really didn't need to. What I would want to see with this deck, rather than this, is a little bit more card draw. Maybe instead of the shore ups, well, I mean, like, that's just playing in these limited formats. The shore ups didn't seem like they were that big of a deal. But, I mean, overall, this deck was pretty solid, and it worked wonders on all of the decks that we faced. We didn't lose a single round. Remember, have creatures first, then spells. That's the main trick to decks like this. Creature, then spell. Yeah, I've made that mistake with Izzet decks in the past, but hey, never again. Now I know. And yep, it held its weight. It did really well. I highly recommend that. This is a pretty solid choice for a deck to main in the starter duel deck area. Wow, I was not expecting it to be that solid, but regardless, that's my opinion on it. All right, well, thank you for joining today. Make sure that you've liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you with the next episode in the starter deck duel starter decks. That was probably too many times of saying starter in there. I do apologize to your entire ears, but I'm signing out for the day. Take care. Bye.